This one's going to be a treat. Can you see why? Hello, friends. I am back at work at the shop today. We're going to do a 2015 Kia Sorento, and this one's going to be a treat. Sorry about the traffic. This one's going to be a treat. Can you see why? Oh. So we're going to get the steamer going because I really want to make sure we get the dirt out of this texture. But in all, even with the seats being this nasty, this car is not in that bad of condition in everything else. We'll get those blown out and cleaned up. We're going to use some degreaser on that. And I think I might go back to the basics, to be honest with you. It still has all of its floor mats, so I definitely want to see if I can't bring those back to life. I want to try and bring these seats back to life. That's why I'm saying I think I'll go back to the basics. Car lot detailers use a lot of degreaser and things like that, so we will see what we can do. Yuck. You know, in a way, I kind of like these kind of details because then I can test myself. Can I do a good job? Can I really make it look better? Can I really transform it? Some of them I have not been able to. They're just too far gone. Those are the ones that I say, set them on fire. They shouldn't be at the car lot. But this being a 2015, it runs really, really well. But I'm just going to say it. Smokers and people with small children should not have light-colored interiors. Just say it. I've learned a lot of lessons. That's one of them. 2 of them. But anyway, let's get started with the day. Once I began detailing, I started realizing that I really didn't need the steamer. So I went ahead and unplugged it, and I just used a little scrub brush on those little surfaces, and it came really clean. Just cleaned right up. So I'm going back to the basics when I first started detailing here at the car lot before I started learning about other products. This is something that a lot of car detailers use. Car lot detailers, I should say. It's purple power, and it actually does a good job. I can't get that out. I don't know what it is, but this seat looks 100% better than it did. And I was able to get this out. I worked on some of this and got it off of there. So always remember, whenever you add fluid of any kind to a fabric seat, you want to make sure, I'm going to work on that spot some more. You want to make sure that you're vacuuming. Shop vac is fine. You just want to get that fluid out of there. So I'm going to finish up this spot here in just a minute, vacuum up after my feet were on the floor, and then we're going to move on to the middle seats and get those done. Hello friends, so we are back for day number 2 of the interior of this 2015 Kia Sorento. I probably forgot to tell you, there's a lot of work that needs to be done to this car. I will show that all to you in next week's video. We're going to focus on the interior today and yesterday. I will finish it today on the interior, and then I'll get started on the exterior, which is going to need some work, and then there's some other little things that we've got to deal with, so we will deal with that in the other video. But you know, I was working on these seats yesterday, so let's go look at them, because I think you're going to be relatively surprised. I know I am. That spot that I couldn't get to come out and it just kept showing, it is much more diminished. This centerpiece looks much, much better than it was. Now, we had some very cold temperatures yesterday or last night, and it is still a little bit damp, but it's definitely not what it was. So we will see how these front seats go, but let's take a second look at those front seats, because those are going to be the most challenging, but let's hope that we get the best transformation. So hang on, let's check them out. So this is the passenger seat. It definitely needs a good cleaning all the way up, so it's not something that just this can be dealt with, which would be something that you would do with a car lot vehicle. If the back is fine, don't worry about it. But this is, all of it's dirty. So we're going to work on these seats and then the floor mats, and we're going to be done with all this. Of course, I still need to wipe down the front, but it's actually not going to take too awful long. We're going to vacuum, obviously, but this carpet, even though it's impossible, it is still coming pretty clean. Remember what I said, when you add fluid of any kind to a seat of fabric, vacuum it, even if it's with a shop vac. So here we go after first treatment. This back cleaned up really well. Bolster over there needs a little bit more work, and I will do that. I'm going to treat it a second time and see what happens. Alrighty. This car is done on the inside. The interior is done. These seats look 100% better. The seller has already been here to look at them. He said it's the best it's gonna get, then we'll just have to go with it. So we are going to go with it. These carpets were in good shape. The floor mats had some issues, but they're very forgiving, and being a car lot, I'm not going all crazy on it. Now this seat looks really good. You can see there is still some staining, but it is definitely a big difference than it was. And I got all that cleaned up. As you can see, that definitely came clean. And I didn't even have to get the steamer out. My thought was I was gonna have to, but I thought I'd give it a try. Now this floor mat has dramatically improved. You can read the Sorento now, where you couldn't before. Here's this other seat. Not much better, but it's definitely better than it was. This back, definitely better. So this is it for the interior of this car. So next week you will see the part 2, which is going to be, let me just show you a little preview. In fact, the body actually does look pretty good, I think. So we're going to do a quick rinseless wash on it. But let me explain what we're doing. Can you see it? This entire side is scraped up. It goes about halfway down. I'm hoping you can see it. It's very there. It is very hard to see in the camera, but it is all the way down. And then, in order for that to be put back in properly, we have to get that tape off of there. Next week, you will get part 2. Part 2, as you saw, is going to be the side of this car. After I do a rinseless wash, pulling off that tape, making sure we're good to go. So, thanks for hanging out on my channel, guys. I sure appreciate it. And until next week, we'll see you later.